Hi, and welcome to the next edition of Microsoft Monday. I'm here once again with none other than the man, Kyle Nehs. Say hi to everybody, Kyle.
Hey Mark, good to be back on Microsoft Monday. Everyone watching, thanks for all the feedback on the videos, and we're here with some more updates for Teams.
Excellent. So because it's Microsoft Monday, naturally, I'm just going to let you run with it, Kyle. So how about that? You can take it away from here.
Sounds like a plan. So before we jump into any content, there's a pretty big announcement, or rather change maybe. A lot of different ways you can look at it, but the thing to know that's coming up pretty soon here, in the next 2 weeks actually, is for all Windows-based MTRs, all eligible ones I should say, and that is the transition to Windows 11. So currently you have the option to remain on Windows 10 or upgrade to Windows 11. Windows 11 really is the future of Microsoft Teams rooms, and someday, meaning in 2 weeks, everyone is going to be on Windows 11, at least for eligible devices that are able to make that upgrade. So November 20th, keep that date in mind. That is when all MTR systems on Windows will make the upgrade to Windows 11. With Windows 11, you're going to be able to take advantage of all the latest feature sets for the Teams Rooms platform, ensure you're staying up to date on all the latest releases, which Mark, I think you and I would agree we struggle to keep up with sometimes because they're coming out so frequently. But just want to make that clear, make sure everyone is prepared. I would recommend maybe updating a system or two in advance, get a feel for it, make sure there's no issues with configuration or anything that's really going to take the room down. So definitely keep that in mind, and hopefully is a smooth transition.
So one of the key follow-up there, by the way, and I'll be making a video about this later this week, is that there will be Hub 500s, which is our original hub unit that some of you may have in your environment. If you have those are not able to make the transition to Windows 11. I would suggest that we either consider talking to us about upgrading those, or just understand that they're going to be stuck on Windows 10 for the time being. And unfortunately, as a side effect of the Windows 10, you won't be getting any Teams updates once that transition occurs as well. So it's something to consider, but talk to us if you want to upgrade, and we'll definitely get you there. Again, there'll be a video coming out about this later this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point, Mark. Thanks for adding that. So with that out of the way, I did want to share some new content from Microsoft. In the past couple of weeks, or at least since we last spoke, there's been some great updates and some great content posted by Microsoft. Of course, updates don't continue, or rather continue to be pushed out and are not slowing down, but there's actually a really great article that came out just last week actually on choosing the right platform for Microsoft Teams. So a lot of you watching are probably familiar with the fact that Microsoft offers two flavors of Teams rooms, and that is Windows and Android. Here at Lenovo, we're very familiar with the Windows-based systems. That's where our background is, that's where our strength is. But it's certainly not lost on us that our customers also have a choice when it comes to implementing Android-based MTRs into their system. And really at the end of the day, the thing to know is, regardless of which platform you go with, the goal from Microsoft is to deliver, the same or very identical experiences for its users, regardless of the platform of choice by the customer. Now, this article does a really great job of just kind of taking what could be a very kind of thorough and lengthy decision process and really summarizing it into a few key pillars, things such as peripheral support, OS and application updates, management, and feature releases. I think it's a really great place to start, especially if the Teams Rooms platform is new to you in your environment. Maybe you're making a switch from another platform. Maybe you don't have anything video enabled in your conference rooms today and Teams Rooms is on your radar. I think this is a really great place to start. But a few things I want to call out here in this article. I'll certainly let you read it all in detail. We'll make sure to link it below. But ultimately, after reading through this article, I kind of got the idea that, yes, there are their differences. But when it comes to things like peripheral support, for example, and kind of the reason I think we've kind of really planted our stake in the Windows platform, among other things, is really the flexibility and the robust ecosystem of USB-based devices that really allow you to customize and configure the room to your liking. So that can mean using something like a Lenovo Core controller and plugging and playing whatever team certified camera, speaker, microphone, scheduling panel. It could be a whole host of things, but ultimately with the Windows ecosystem, you do have that choice. Now, Android oftentimes is seen as something that may be easier to configure, but something to keep in mind with Android devices is that, updates and management a lot of times is often managed by the OEM who provides that product to the customer. So something to keep in mind if you're looking for, room management and room management that is maybe universal versus specific to an OEM. We often don't see customers that go down the Android path choose multiple different OEMs for their, ecosystem of rooms just because of that fact alone. But it's something to consider. And ultimately, Microsoft is trying to help bridge that gap as well with the Pro Portal. If that's something you haven't had experience with, I definitely recommend you check it out because it gives you a lot of great tools when it comes to management, regardless of platform. And the other thing to remember too, when it comes to feature releases, is that Teams rooms on Windows get Teams updates directly to the device via the Windows Update platform. And again, going back to where Android, they may require more customization. Updates may roll out in different patterns or fashions or different timelines is probably the best way to put it. So there's a lot of key factors, even just from the management perspective, let alone the use cases and the room types. So definitely take a look at this article. It's a lot of great content, but those are just a few of the things that I wanted to call out on this.
Excellent. Thank you, Kyle.
Of course. So I did have a few of the things I wanted to cover today. And of course, one of my favorite things to do each time we get together, Mark, is just go over what's new in Microsoft Teams every month. So we don't quite have 53 new features, but we do have 35, which I think is so incredible. There's not a whole lot to the Teams room ecosystem, but there's certainly still a lot going on in the Teams ecosystem itself. And one of the big things is the new Microsoft Teams. This is now generally available for Windows and Mac and education customers. And if you're an enterprise, you may not have seen this yet. It is, I know, still rolling out for them. But ultimately, the new Teams app, the thing to know here is on top of a UI refresh and some great new features, this app is really all about under the hood updates. And it's really something that Microsoft's been working on since Teams was initially released. And ultimately, that goal is deliver better performance while using less resources on the PC. I think, Mark, you and I can both admit that, we've used Teams at one point in time, maybe a few, and it's really bogged down our computer, especially for doing other things and other applications and running a meeting and sharing content. It put a lot of stress on the PC. What's really great, sometimes to combat that, obviously, you could use a dedicated Teams device, like a Teams display, something like ThinkSmart View Plus, for example, but sometimes you don't have that with you. Maybe you're traveling, or maybe you just don't have the room to add a Teams dedicated device to offload those resources from your PC. So this app specifically, Microsoft claims is going to deliver twice the performance while using 50% less resources. So pretty bold claim. I can't wait to use it just for that fact alone, let alone all the other great features that come with this app. But definitely keep an eye out for this. You're going to see actually a toggle at the top left of your screen. It says New Teams. All you have to do is click, and it's going to go ahead and launch you into this new experience and this newly designed app. Now, again, if it's something that's not working properly, or maybe you're not quite ready for it, you can always flip back for the time being. But ultimately, everyone is going to be on this new Teams app, and I think it's a really great thing. And I'm really happy that Microsoft is continuing to develop this app from behind the scenes and really giving us more power, more productivity, all while consuming less resources via the PC.
That's an excellent update, and I've seen some friends update, and I've seen some coworkers update, so I know it's out there, and I suggest you definitely try it out for sure. But again, if you don't like it, take advantage of the back switch, so to speak.
Absolutely. And just two other things I wanted to call out in this article, actually from our good friends and our partners over at Nereva and Jabra. So speaking of newly certified devices for Teams rooms, the Nereva HDL310 is now certified for large Microsoft Teams rooms. I'm a really big fan of this audio solution, especially when paired with our Lenovo core controller. That bar alone that you see in the picture can cover a space that is 30 by 30 feet. So quite a lot of real estate just by using one bar that's going to be mounted near the top of your wall in the room. What's really cool about Nereva is actually their patented microphone mist technology, which actually creates a virtual array of microphones and ensures that everyone in the room, no matter where they are or where they're looking, this can be clearly heard by the remote participants, and remote participants can have an active conversation as if they were in the room together. It's a really great technology. It's self-sufficient, as I like to say, just meaning that it'll go ahead and adapt as the number of people in the room change, or maybe small characteristics about the room may change. Ultimately, this is something you can count on when it comes to an audio solution that is robust, easy to install, and is frankly plug and play when it comes to USB-based peripherals in the Teams Rooms ecosystem. On top of that, our good friends at Jabra just got their Jabra Panacast 50 certified for intelligent speaker. So we already know this product to have a really great visual experience with that 180-degree field of view, 3 cameras that ultimately stitch together that give you, things like intelligent IntelliFrame, really great. Like, it could be a content camera. There's a lot of great uses for the camera itself, but now with intelligent speaker, it can recognize up to 10 speakers. It can annotate live transcriptions, just ensuring that, Mark, if you said something in the meeting, I can hold you accountable, even if I'm not in that meeting. So hopefully that's not the only thing people use it for, but it's a really great way, especially with the integration of Copilot, to really understand what went on in the meeting, who has what task as follow-up, and ultimately ensure that our meetings are even more productive than they currently are. So some really great new certifications for these products that we love, that we work with. Again, great partnerships for Lenovo. Just something to keep an eye out for. There's certainly some more detail on what these products can do. So definitely take a look at the links within this blog post to learn more.
Excellent. Thank you, Kyle. So incidentally, as it pertains to the Nereva solution, I had a Nereva bar set up in one of the rooms in my house, and the room is about 25 by 25. It's above my garage, and it was I just set it up there just to see what could happen. And I was on a call, and I went into the corner and whispered into the corner. And not only could I whispered into the corner. And so I was, a good solid 20 some odd feet away from the Nereva bar, and whispering into the corner. Not only could the far end hear me just fine, the transcription picked it up and transcribed it flawlessly as well, which absolutely boggled my mind.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I'm like I said, I'm a big fan of this. While it is now certified for large rooms, it's great for medium rooms. It's really great for rooms of all type. If you don't want any audio components on the table itself, or even at the front of the room, maybe you have a room that's just not traditional. It's probably the best way to put it. This could be a really great solution to take a look at.
Yeah, and of course, the Panacast 50 is a rock solid. It's a rock star in and of itself. And if you haven't had a chance to check it out, Josh Blaylock has been putting out all kinds of great videos about it, and I'll link one to you about they did an unwebinar for their Technically Speaking series a little while ago. It's probably a couple months ago at this point in time. Then it went into all the crazy depths of the AI and what the Panacast 50 is capable of, and I definitely encourage anybody to check that out as well. I'll include the link on the comments below.
Mark, there's one other thing I wanted to share with everyone today. It's actually just really a fun thing related to Teams that I got my hands on earlier this week, and I think it really helps my workflow and a lot of the presentations that I do on a daily basis, and that is the Elgato Stream Deck, but it actually has the Teams plugin. So it may be a little hard to see with my reflection here, but what you can see on the right is actually all my reactions, and I can also raise my hand. So really quickly and easily able to send reactions in the Teams meeting instead of having to look at the top row there, look for the reaction that I want, click it, or if I need to raise my hand really quickly, that's great. On top of that, I have controls to end the meeting, mute myself, turn my video off, even adjust my background blur, which typically I have on, and then sometimes I have off if I need to show something. So there you go. See, it just configured right there. So really cool, really customizable. It can be used for really anything you want, but the Teams thing certainly appealed to me. And what's really special about this guy right here is actually the fact that it has the custom Microsoft Teams plate on the front there. It's not something you can buy, not to brag, but it was something that I was able to get my hands on at Microsoft Teams Rooms World last week, and not something I thought I'd ever get my hands on. So Really, really fortunate to be able to do that, but definitely something you should check out if you have a Stream Deck, maybe, or that was something you're looking at. I think from an everyday use perspective, especially for business, this plugin is a really great tool to just help you stay more productive and interact with your team's meetings.
So Kyle, what do you think? We're going to have some fist fights in the halls about these little Stream Deck plates that go there, the little cosmetic guys?
Well, if you check out my LinkedIn, I made a post about it just because I was that excited, and all I'll say is it generated a lot of excitement, and I definitely think my comment section is evidence enough that there's certainly a market if Microsoft wanted to start selling these faceplates. So hopefully they catch wind of it. Maybe I'll shamelessly, show it to a few people over at Microsoft to kind of, poke the bear to say, hey, there's the demand for these, people want these, but for the time being, very fortunate to have one.
Excellent. Well, I'm jealous, Kyle. I wish I had one, but hey, whatever. I didn't get to run in the circles you got to run into where you got that. So it is what it is. I'm cool with it. In the meantime, though, Kyle, once again, I would like to thank you. It wouldn't be Microsoft Monday without you joining me today, Kyle. So thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. To all the viewers out there, I'd like to thank you for watching. You've let me kind of go on this journey here, and you've been so supportive of it all, and I really appreciate that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. It's an amazing thing. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to go to the YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Leave me some comments. I love the comments. The comments are where it's at. So until next time, when I see you on a video again, I guess I'll see you then.
See you later. Thanks, Mark.